It's a true story when I say that my desire to travel light and move around more freely was the very reason I got into minimalism in the first place all those years ago. And I could confidently say that's still one of the best things that came out of becoming a minimalist. Having a lot less mental and, of course, physical baggage. I have a week-long trip in a couple of weeks, so I thought it might be interesting to make a video on how I'll be packing with one single backpack as a minimalist. I wanted to show exactly what I'll be bringing and exactly how it'll be packed in my bag for the duration of the trip. This video is sponsored by my longtime friends at Bellroy, and if you like any of their products I show in today's video, I'll have a discount code for them in the description box if you're interested. But first, if you're new to my channel, thank you for stopping by. Here we talk about minimalism, frugal living, tech, and things of that nature. So if that sounds good to you and you end up liking the video, be sure to like, and please no clip the subscribe button into an inescapable liminal space. Let's get started. Lastly, before I do get started, just for some context, the trip I'm taking is to Japan, where the summer weather is very similar to where I live from what I've read. And also any millennial midlife crisis jokes are fair game. And of course, starting with what makes the most sense is the backpack itself, which is the Bellroy Transit Travel Pack Pro. This is the exact backpack I'll be living out of for the duration of my trip, where I'm gonna keep all my clothes, hygiene items, and literally everything else. This bag has pretty much all the bells and whistles I could ever want out of a travel backpack, but I think my single most favorite thing about this item is how wide it opens. Unzipping the main pocket makes it open like a book and lays flat, giving me easy access to absolutely anything inside. I imagine this prevents it from getting super disorganized when I need to get something out because I'm not necessarily sticking my arm in there and digging around moving things around. Which, even if that were the case, there is this magnetic strap to secure items down, which I'll show when I'm going through the actual contents of the bag. Clothes and packing cube. Every article of clothing that I bring will be kept in this packing cube. Normally this packing cube just holds my pants and shorts and I keep it in my closet, but for this trip it's gonna hold all of my clothes. I've had this exact one for probably around 4 years, and if you've never owned a packing cube, I highly recommend it. It keeps my clothes organized as well as compresses them to save a little bit of space. And as for the actual clothing items, since we're going in the summer and it is August and extremely warm and humid, from what I read, I most certainly should be able to get away without bringing any type of sweater or warm clothing. So exactly what I plan on bringing is one pair of light pants and one pair of black shorts. I had this exact pair of shorts for like 5 years and wore them several times a week before they got destroyed beyond repair. I was pretty upset to learn that they actually didn't make them anymore, but was lucky enough to find a brand new pair on Depop someone was selling for like $10, which was nice. 5 t-shirts, a pair of socks and a pair of underwear for every day of the week, my hat, and 1 pair of shoes. I'll most likely wear the pants and a t-shirt during the actual travel, so the rest will be rolled up tightly and put inside of the packing cube. Then I'll secure the packing cube under the magnetic straps in the backpack, holding it firmly in place. And so far, that's pretty much everything I plan on bringing as far as clothes go. Hygiene and personal care. I surprisingly get asked about this fairly frequently, so I hope I answer some of the questions I've been asked. At least in regards to like skincare stuff. Pretty much everything is kept in my drawer in the bathroom inside this exact travel hygiene pouch. If you remember the one that I showed previously, I actually had that for about 10 years. And I'm pretty sure some organic biomatter was starting to form inside of it. It was actually starting to look like Vecna from Stranger Things. Needless to say, it was getting kind of gross and it was time for an upgrade. Bellroy did also send me this hanging toiletry bag, and I absolutely love this thing. It has a metal hook that deploys from the top where it could easily be hung to access its contents. I won't be bringing everything that I typically keep here, like my razor, but the things that I do use on a daily basis will stay in here for my trip. So for the actual items themselves, I'll be bringing my deodorant, the ironically named Minimalist brand, my toothbrush, toothpaste, and retainer, my facial moisturizer and hand lotion, and this little Vaseline that I use instead of chapstick. This is also where I'll keep things like ibuprofen or allergy medicine if I end up buying it at my destination. And that's pretty much it for my hygiene bag. I've decided to leave a few things behind like cologne to save on a little bit of weight and space. Electronics and miscellaneous. I've decided to put electronics and miscellaneous in the same category because there really isn't much of either one. Starting with the glaringly obvious, I'm bringing my passport, which in itself has pockets where I'll keep my ID and cards that I need, so my wallet will stay home. My only other miscellaneous items are really just my watch, which of course I'll be wearing, and my sunglasses, as well as this neck pillow. I've never been on a flight even close to this long before, and I've heard from various people that having a neck pillow that holds your head in place is an absolute game changer. I figured anything that makes this flight more bearable is probably worth investing in. For electronics, I have my phone and AirPods, which use the same charging cable and charging block. We haven't gotten a Japanese outlet adapter yet, but that'll obviously be here as well. And I'm not 100% set on this yet, but as of right now, I actually plan on bringing my Switch in place of my iPad. The true reason for bringing either one of these is just to pass time on the flight, and I think the Switch will help me do that a little bit better in this case. Not to mention, I was rather satisfied with the movies that were playing on my last flight, and I just don't feel like dealing with intermittent airport and airplane Wi-Fi. And if there's something I really want to read or watch, I'll just download it onto my phone beforehand. Again, this isn't set in stone, but as of right now, the Switch comes and the iPad stays. Up next is my camera and its 2 batteries and charger. At the very last minute, I actually decided not to bring my camera on my previous trip, and it was honestly really nice to not have to think about taking it out and getting pictures or videos. That being said, I really do wish I had more photos or videos to remember that trip by. So this time around, I just plan on traveling with the minimal amount of camera gear, which is literally my camera and its battery. Hopefully I'll get some stuff that might even be worth showing in a future video. And that pretty much wraps up how I'll be packing for this upcoming trip with just one backpack. I really think once you do this, it's hard to go back to traveling with anything more than just one bag. It's less to think about, less to worry about, and an easier way for me to at least enjoy my trips. Once again, I'll have a link along with a discount code for the Bellroy products I showed in this video in the description box if you're interested. And thank you again to Bellroy for sponsoring this video. I hope you got some value here or some inspiration as to how to pack for your next trip. If you're able to go with just one bag, I highly encourage you try it out. Anyways, as always, I appreciate the time you spent here and I appreciate you watching. If you did like this video and you like this type of content, be sure to like and consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you next time.